Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Greetings, everyone. Greetings and happy Sabbath day. This is a beautiful Sabbath day today. Today is January 24th, 2026. This is January 24th, 2026, and today is the Assembly of the Righteous, which is another beautiful Sabbath day. And on this day, we do the words of Yah. We come together as an assembly to come to keep the Creator's word, because this is the day He ordained for us to come together to have a holy convocation, and this is what we do. For those who choose to keep the word of Yah, the voice of Yah. So right now we're going to go through prayer. We're going to go through the scriptures, and then we're going to start off. And today we're going to do 1 Kings chapter 2 and chapter 3. This 1 Kings chapter 2 and chapter 3 we're going through today. We're in part 1 as of right now. We're going to start off with our prayer, and we'll go from there. Blessed be thou, Father of the universe, that bring forth all living creatures forth from the earth. Blessed be thou, Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Blessed be the Father of Israel. Blessed be the Father to our tribe of Israel. Thank you, Father, for all you've done, been doing, and plan to do. We ask you to keep giving us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, life, health, and strength, food, shelter, and clothing. Let us be happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, and prosperous in all that we do. We ask you to keep leading and guiding us so we can help lead and guide others in your knowledge, your word, your ruach, and your way. We ask you to help us in every way. Allow us to walk in your way. Allow us to retain your knowledge and your information that you've given to us through your word, through your voice, through your spirit, and through your law. We ask you to help us in every way to keep leading and guiding us through these ways so we will understand, do, and build to bring your kingdom into fruition from the satanic kingdom we're living in today. We ask you to forgive us of all the sins and the deeds that we have done in time past, today's time and time to come, as well as the deeds of our ancestors and our forefathers. We ask you to forgive us and them and allow us to walk in your way and lift the spirit of deep sleep from us as well. We ask you to help us in every way, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, financial, or spiritual. In all these things we pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Praise you, Almighty. All right. Greetings, everyone. Like I said, this is a beautiful Sabbath day. We're getting ready to get started on. And today's information that we're going to get started on is the wisdom of Solomon. So we're going to go through chapter 2 and chapter 3 today. So we're starting off in 1 Kings, but first we're going to go through the law first, which is the 10 Commandments. We read the 10 Commandments because this is what the Creator ordained for us to do. And this is what we're supposed to go through with our families or with any convocation that we're having throughout on the Sabbath day. Because don't forget, some people say you can't go to the Sabbath. The Sabbath comes to you, which is the Sabbath day, which is the seventh day of each and every week. Oh boy. Of each and every week. So when the Sabbath comes to us, it's our duty to abide by within it by resting from work and relaxing and enjoying the day in the word of Yah. And as we go through the word, we study, we understand, and we research as in the studies of the word to understand the voice of Yah. So now, we're starting in Exodus chapter 20, the commandments. We're going to first do the commandments, and then we're going to understand why we have prophets that speak the word of Yah, prophets being ambassadors of the word of Yah. And we'll get that understanding as we go through, and then we're going to go through the lessons of the story for today. So, the 10 Commandments, Exodus chapter 20, verse 1. And Yah spake all these words, saying, I am Yah thy father, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. First commandment, thou shalt have no other deities, which is gods, before me. Second commandment, thou shalt have second commandment, verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yah thy father, am a jealous father, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children. I like to say, Yah thy father is a jealous father, visiting the iniquity of the parents, because today time we don't have fathers in the house, but we have women that raise their children and men. So we don't have the parent, we don't have the both of them, but either or, it's the parents visiting the iniquity of the parents upon the children, unto the third, which is the Greek, and the fourth, which is the Roman generation of them that hate me. And this is the third and fourth world powers that hate the Creator. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. And mercy is no different than grace. Grace and mercy is of the same, or is the same. Verse 7, just a different name for the same thing. Verse third commandment. Thou shalt not take the name, which is the law of Yah thy father, in vain. For Yah would not hold him guiltless that continue to take Yah's law, which is his name, in vain. Our Father Yah's law, which is his name, in vain. Fourth commandment. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it hallowed, which is to keep it holy, set aside. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yah thy father. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yah made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yah thy father blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Fifth commandment. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which Yah thy father giveth thee. Sixth commandment. Thou shalt not murder. We're not supposed to murder, which is take a life without a cause. When you take a life without a cause, that's murder. If you take a life for a cause, like sacrificing for taking an animal's life in order to eat or something like that, that's a cause. That's why it says it actually is thou shalt not murder, but thou shalt not kill is not the actual content that they're supposed to go there. And that's in Hebrew. Now, it's not me saying it. It's in Hebrew. All right. That's where the original law is located, if y'all need to know. So y'all won't think I'm saying it. The seventh commandment. Thou shalt not bear false. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Meaning, if any woman that belongs to any man, whether it's one woman or many women belonging to one man, the woman has accepted that man or their betrothed, she's not to lay down with any other man. And any man that lays down with another man's woman, that's adultery. Eighth commandment, thou shalt not steal. Ninth commandment, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. As I always say, this is what lawyers, prosecutors, and prosecutors, lawyers, and attorneys do all the time. And for the last and final commandment that the Creator spoke to the children of Israel in the wilderness, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, which is want. Thou shalt not want, which is covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Now we understand, now to come to understanding of how prophets has come to be. This is the people's fear. In verse 18, Exodus 20:18, it says, and all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. As I always share, when it's thundering and lightning outside, even though you're in the house, you want to go in a corner somewhere or get in a dark room and sit down and say and understand that the Creator is speaking at this time. The Creator is speaking when you hear the thunder and the lightning going on outside, whether you understand it or not. He's uttering his voice, whether they understand that or not. So, verse 19, it says, and they said unto Moses, speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not Yah speak with us, lest we perish, we die. And Moses said unto the people in verse 20, fear not, For Yah is come to prove you. Remember, it says prove all things. It says prove all things in the scripture. Prove all things. And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for Yah has come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near into the thick darkness where the Creator was. So as we see, the Creator spoke the 10 Commandments to everybody, not just Moses in the mountain, but Moses went up in the mountain 40 days and 40 nights, where the Creator, the signature, gave Moses the laws on 2 tablets and tables of stone. All right. Now, but not only that, this is the confirmation of what we just read on the prophet situation. Over here in Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 15 through 22, gives you the understanding to the last part we just read from 18 to 21 in Exodus 20. Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 15 states, Yah thy father will raise up unto you, a prophet from the midst of thee, from the middle of you, of thy brethren, meaning the midst of you, Israel. He's going to raise a prophet up from the midst of your brethren. Like unto me, unto him ye shall hearken. You're going to listen unto that prophet because he's the one I'm going to be speaking through. 16, according to all that thou desirest of Yah thy father in Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not, this is what they said in verse 19 a few moments ago that I just read. Let me not hear again the voice of Yah my father, neither let me see this great fire anymore, that I die not. Thank you, baby. And Yah said unto me, thank you, sweets. And Yah said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken. Thank you, beautiful. And Yah said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren. The Creator is saying this, like unto thee, Moses. I'm adding that because that's what he's talking about. And will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto who? My words, which he shall speak in my name. This is the key. That he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, what people need to realize, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other deities, other gods, even that prophet shall die. And if thou say in thine heart, how shall we know the word which Yah has not spoken? When a prophet speaketh in the name of Yah, you see, still in his name, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, if it don't follow at that time, nor come to pass in the future, that is the thing which Yah has not spoken. But the prophet has spoken it presumptuously, thou shalt not be afraid of that prophet. Why? Because he's speaking out of turn. A lot of people do that today. Thank you, baby. Baby warming me up some good tea. Needed right now, too. So, I like to say greetings to everyone. I like to thank everybody for coming, everybody that's joining us at this point in time. I like to thank my baby Joanne, Miss Joe, for joining us on Zoom, and my brother Cass out of the UK. He's joining us today. I'm gonna say Cass and Beverly, which is him and his beautiful wife out of the UK. They've joined us today, and anybody else that's here on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram that is joining us, I'd like to thank you for coming, because today we're going to go through 1 Kings chapter 2 and chapter 3 for part 1 and part 2. We're going to go through both parts. And 1 Kings chapter 2. Now, I always like to give a small recap. Last week, last week was Solomon made king. Solomon was made king last week in 1 Kings chapter 1. Solomon was made king, and certain things had to happen in order for Solomon to be made king, because his brother was trying to take over like his brother Absalom did. Absalom took over the kingdom for a short period of time because of David, because David sinned. That was the purpose. But David knew, but a lot of people didn't know why. But Absalom's brother did the exact same thing. Two peas from the same pot. Two peas from the same pot. Ali Hurley, good to see you there, bro. Glad you can make it over here with us over here on YouTube. As I was saying, his brother came in, did the same thing Absalom did. And we getting ready to see in chapter 2 what's going to end up happening to all the transgressors, should I say. And I know right now we're about to see a few things about it, but we're going to get started. I just gave you a small recap. You can always go back and read for yourself, or go and check go see last week's post. But other than that, we're in chapter 2, 1 Kings chapter 2, David's charge to Solomon. This is the heading that I have in my book. David charged to Solomon, and let's get started. Now, the days of David, drew near nigh that he should pass. All right. Gotta understand. Now his days was coming that he's gonna go. That he should die. And he charged Solomon his son, saying, I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man. This is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to pass the mantle to our children. We pass the mantle to our children. Now, children are supposed to take up where we left off. In confidence, they're going to do a good job. Show thyself a man. You see that? You see what it says here. Now, that's a powerful statement within itself. What David said is, I go the way of all the earth, in verse 2. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man. Show yourself a man in the earth. We got a lot of men that's not showing themselves as men today. That feminine aspect, you know what I'm saying? You're not standing as a man. A lot of y'all fall into women. When I say fall to women, y'all letting women rule over you. As it states in Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12. Time to stand up and show yourselves as men. Not talking about anybody or putting anybody down. I'm just stating the facts. Verse 3. And keep the charge of Yah thy father. You see that? To walk in his ways, to keep. Now, I'm going to put this in. I got to put my other. I don't know where my. I sure missed it already because that was like a lemon. And I don't know where that one just disappeared. I don't know which one. Go ahead and get another one, though. I'll get another yellow one. Got them other ones. And keep the charge of Yah thy father. Man, I like to keep that part there on the highlight, real highlighted. And keep the charge of Yah thy father to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments and testimony, as it is written in the law of Moses, that thou may prosper in all that thou doest, and whithersoever thou turnest thyself. You see that? David himself is saying the same thing that the Creator said in the commandments. The Creator said, do this. This is what you're going to do. This is going to always keep yourself prosperous by keeping his laws, statutes, and judgments. Many people don't think the Creator is the same yesterday, today, and forever. They say it, but they don't believe it. That's what tripped me out. They do a lot of talking. God saying yesterday, today, and forever. This is where you find out how he was. So then if you go see some change somewhere else, how is he the same if he don't change? A lot of these people, man, that's why I say they just read, but they don't study, they don't comprehend what the words is actually saying. And those words is the voice of the Creator. Verse 4, chapter 2 and 4. That Yah may continue, and keep that going, that Yah may continue his words which he spoke concerning me. You see that? You see that? He know concerning me, saying, okay. Come on now, I got pens running from me. Concerning me. Then he's going to say what Creator said. If thy children, you see that? Got to turn the page. Got to turn the page. Ain't that what they said about a year or two ago? Time to turn the page. The page is turning. That last point again was saying, if thy children take heed to their way, to their way, to walk before me in truth, with all their heart and with all their soul, there shall not fail thee, said he, a man on the throne of Israel. You see that? A man on the throne of Israel. Moreover, thou knowest also what, okay, now he's talking about, now he going into details about things that has happened. See, that verse 4, 3 and 4 was directly to Solomon. Actually, it's actually from 1 all the way down, but I'm just going from 3 and 4. He says, show the end, show thyself a man, and keep the charge. So that 3 and 4 was specifically for Solomon and how to conduct himself before the Creator from his father. Then he said, moreover, thou knewest also what Job, the son of Zeruiah, and right here, this is where your past come and meet you at. When you did something, this is where your past come and meet you at. See, a lot of people don't know. They think they're getting away with stuff. But when you get old, or when you get older, your past come to meet you. It's not the past of your father, it's your past. It's going to come. That's why you're supposed to watch the things you do. If you ain't watching yourself going to come back on you. The son of Zeruiah. Man, I want to go into some stuff of the day to talk about. You know what? Just as an example. And I hate putting people out there, but I got to say, the past comes up back up on you. Now, right now, and I'm not going to go into this long conversation. This would be a good conversation for tomorrow because I got some things that I could say, but I'm just going to say, only you, and you know what came to me yesterday as well. No matter who don't know what you did, the Creator know what you did. In your time past, whatever you've done. The Creator know what you've done. And I'm not going to put these names. I was going to do it, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to say, the Creator know what you've done. If you're going through controversy right now, one way or another, one party or the other, maybe both parties, you know what you've done in your time past. You know that you, whatever it is, you can't escape the wrath of Yah, the punishment of the Creator. You can't escape it. So the whole thing and the main thing is to stay righteous as much as possible. It's only one line. Some people take different words. Someone say evil. Somebody say you'll say evil. You can say devil. You can say all of it is on that same side, over in that corner, stuck in the corner. I don't care what word you use. If it's evil, bad, rotten, wickedness, all that stuff. Stick it over there and say, because there's only one line. You're either on the good side or you're on the bad side. You're on the righteous side or you're on the evil side. All that evil and whatever, that's over there. Whatever goodness in there, it's over there. Y'all can use a different name, still the same meaning for the same thing. And people fail to realize they try to use different words to make it look good. No different. But let's keep it moving. Because I've been went off and now I'm about to go off on something I was thinking about, but I ain't going to let that come in and cloud what's going on here. Because that's others people situation that they're going through. They have to realize exposement will always be the punishment. That's all I'm saying. Whatever you're exposed to, it's the punishment for something that you have done. Because just like you can always go into this internet and pull up stuff from the past on people, if there's no back past, well, everybody got some type of past, but if your past ain't bad, and if it comes up and you know what you've done and you know that you have an explanation behind it, because everybody can take something, they'll take one little thing and blow it up. That's why you got to watch what you say as well. But let's keep it moving, because this is a long chapter. Verse 5, moreover, thou knowest also what Job, the son of Zeruiah, did to me. See, he said to me, and what he did to two captains. What he did to me, I wonder what he did to David, exactly. And what he did to two captains. You see two captains of the host of Israel. He murdered them. What he did to David, he took Absalom. He disregarded his word. That's what I believe he meant to what he did to me. I told you don't kill him. Be humble with him. You killed him anyway. That's what he did to me because you disrespected me. You disrespected my word. And not only that, it was two captains. Amazah was one. He took him by the beard and killed him and took back his place that David took from him for killing Absalom. And the other one was dang, I keep forgetting. I don't know why I keep forgetting that brother's name. I just want to get it just so his name can be here since we're speaking. Greetings, Julia. Glad you can join us today. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to grab his name real quick. I'm just going to put his name out there so y'all know who I'm talking about, because gotta go back a little further. Hold on, y'all. Make sure I get this. I want to make sure y'all get this right. Cause I want to get his name. I want his name to be here because this is part of the situation that David is talking about. Well, okay, here it is. Abner. I don't know why I keep forgetting his name. Abner. Yep. When David said over here in verse 5, moreover, thou knowest also what Job, the son of Zeruiah, did to me, which is disrespect my word, and what he did to the two captains of the host of Israel. And there you go right there. I should have just kept reading. Dang, look at me. So I tried to go. Well, it was right there. Abner, the son of Ner. I just said Abner, the son of Ner, and Amasa. Dang, if I'd have kept reading, it'd have been right there in my face. But as you can see, I try to keep everything in memory. So if I'm reading right here, I try to go back and remember what it is in the story so I'll know, not just letting this foretell it for me, I'll know where to go and find, okay, I remember this and I remember that. But as you can see, this is what studying does. Moreover, thou knowest what Joab, the son of Zeruiah, did to me and to the two captains, Abner, the son of Ner, and Amasa, the son of Jether, whom he slew and shed the blood of war in peace. You see that? Both of them was in peace. Amasa was just, David gave Amasa Joab's place because you disobeyed what I said. Then you gonna go back and kill the guy and take your place anyway. You just mainly disrespect David and showed David, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do anyway. Actually, he was older than David because I think he was a part of the army. Abner was a part of Saul's army. He was the head, the captain over Saul's army. Joab was the head captain over David's army. But Joab, I think he was older than David. I think he was older than David. But he acted like he was older than David. He wasn't. If he wasn't, he acted like he was taking control. He was still went. Well, never mind. I ain't gonna say that. We still going. I was gonna say he was still going to war. So he's putting. See, this is what I'm saying. This is how you put people in charge to handle your business. Joab was with David since he first started, before he became king. He was all, but he always honored David. But he also act like he was. I ain't gonna say he act like he was over David, but Joab, he wanted to do. He did what he wanted to do because he was the. I guess he was the main man in the army. That's why I say I believe he was in the army before David even got into the army. He was already out there doing war and stuff like that. David always conquered because his name did, but we don't know if Joab was a, I don't say better fighter or not, or whatever on that, but I believe he was older than David. You know. Verse 6. Do therefore according to thy wisdom. Now you see that? You see what David said? He ain't take revenge. He said, do therefore according to thy wisdom. Listen to what he's saying. And let not the whore head go down to the grave in peace. Meaning, don't let them get away with the things they got away with. This is the same thing the Creator does. The Creator, if you doing certain things, your past is going to come back and meet you. Your past, whatever you did, if you don't repent in sincerity, well, the Creator will forgive you and say, okay, like he did with David. He may punish you a little bit compared to what he could do. You hear what it said right here? Do therefore according to my back. This is going to be a different color here. This is what people need. I'm put this in blue. Do therefore according to thy wisdom, and let not his whore head go down, whore, which is gray head, go down to the grave in peace. Right? Then he said, but show kindness unto the sons of Brasilia. I still think this is where Brazil got its name from this name right here. This is why I really believe this is where Brazil, the South America, this is why I really think Brazil got its name from. The Gileadite. But show kindness unto the sons of Brasilia, the Gileadite, and let them be of those that eat at thy table. For they came to me when I fled because of Absalom, thy brother. You see that? Because of Absalom, they came to me. But yet still, David knew that he was at fault, but he knew that in his distress, he still had help. Verse 8, and behold, thou hast with thee Shemiel, the son of Gera, a Benjamite of Baharum, which cursed me with a grievous curse. You see that? He was the one that saying, now he did it out public. You evil man, you this day. He was throwing rocks at him, throwing rocks at David and them and stuff like that. He said, and behold, thou hast with thee Shemiel, the son of Gera, a Benjamite of Baharum, which cursed me with a grievous curse in the day when I went to Mahanaim. Now I went to Mahanaim, which cursed me with a grievous curse. in the day when I went to Mahanaim. But he came down to meet me at Jordan, and I swear to him by the Lord, saying, I will not put thee to death with the sword. You see that? He swearing because he came in. You see how this is? David swore to him that he wasn't going to do it, but that don't mean that the punishment going to come back on you. You see that? You see how oath, you got to keep your oath. David kept the oath, but Solomon don't have to keep it. You see what I'm saying? If I kept that was between me and you. That ain't between you and whoever else. If me and you make a pact and we say what we gonna do, this is between me and you. That ain't got nothing to do with my wife, my son, my whoever coming upon you. And this is the reason why we supposed to be at peace with all men. This is the understanding right here. Thank you, Father, for letting us get this information right here. Hold on. I'll make sure I get all this right here. Let me get all this right here. Shemiel, a Benjamite of Bahurim, cursed me with a grievous curse. And you see what I'm saying? See, when he cursed them, it was at the words of his mouth. Then after that, David came back on the throne. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. I was, and that's what people do. That's why you watch what you say first. Contemplate on the words that you use. Think about what you say before you say it. So when you're able to stand on it, you can stand on it, but you can stand on it in peace, righteousness, without grievous being behind your back. And if you got something to say the way you're going to say it, you say it the way you say it, but you make sure that it's always understood to be on a level where you ain't crossing the line. That's it. It's been a lot of lines crossed within the last 2 weeks in different ways. Some people respect some people don't respect them. But sometimes when you counteracting something, you go over something other than somebody else, you can't expect for someone to be a certain type of way because you went a certain way first. You went a certain way first. We gotta remember that. But you think it's supposed to be all, and you know what else? I got to put this out here right now. I got to put this out here right now. Before I do this 9th verse and go into the 10th. A lot of people try to be slick. I'm going to tell y'all like this. And this was on my mind this rising. These so-called comedians think they can get away with stuff. Because they think, oh, he's just a comedian. He making it funny. Whether you're making it funny or not, you're still talking about comedians are liars. I'm just going to say it like that. I'm not talking about one individual. All of them. Now, what I mean by that is not saying that they can't tell some truth, but there's some lies in that truth. And I'm not talking about one. I'm just saying because when you try to, when someone wants to get something over and they want to they want to do it like, oh, he's just a comedian, he just talking. But that comedian is putting stuff in people's minds when they talk what they talk. When they say what they say. And I'm not taking up for nobody. Guaranteed, I'm not taking up for nobody because everybody got their faults. And I can give you one on both sides. And y'all may know who I'm talking about. But I can show faults on two sides, or if y'all know what I'm talking about, on this past 2 weeks of situation going on with these two individuals. Both of them are wrong in their own right, but somebody started everything. And then when that person started everything, it don't want to look like, okay, well, one was stronger than it don't make a difference. Both of them, what you did was wrong, and he just capped what you did. Now, I can go off into it, but I'm not. But I'm just being straight up with everybody. What we're looking at right here is the same thing was going on in today, and people can't accept it. Then you got people taking sides. This is another thing that was on my mind. Thank you, Almighty. You got people taking sides. They ain't looking at the situation on a righteous manner. This goes to show you got to be a righteous judge. How many people out here are righteous judges that could actually judge down the middle? How many people are right, not taking favorite, not being favoritism, but being righteous on what you're saying? If you see something that's real, be real about it. Other than if you're taking sides, you just as guilty as the one that you're taking sides for. And I don't care how you try to make it look, where you're going or whatever. You are just as guilty, no different than thou shalt not bear false witness. You don't want to see what things went on over here, but you see what happened here, but you don't go with the person's side just because this is your friend. If you can't tell a friend the truth to their face, you ain't no friend. And I'm straight up with that. If you can't tell the friend, whoever this friend is supposed to be, to the truth to his face, you don't have to be in people's face. You can be straight up with that person while you're talking to them. And if you can't be straight up with them in their face, you ain't no friend. You biased. You biased. Straight up. And that's coming from Mikael Eric Harris, better known as the Juice, also known as the Alkaline Water Guy. I'll tell you to your face. I'll be straight up with you. You may not like me, but I don't have, like, friends or no friends. We cool or not cool. Don't make me no difference. I came in this earth by myself, and I'm going to leave the same way. My friends are those who are of the Creator, who's going to be straight up and straight out. Straight up. Now, verse 9. Now, therefore, hold him not guiltless. Okay, talking about Shemil. Shemil. Now, therefore, hold him not guiltless for what you did to your father. Well, what he did to your father, shall I say. Hold him not guiltless, for thou art a wise man. He know that he wise. See, when you grow up, see, you see what he said right there? You know, I had a conversation with somebody last week about the same thing. Somebody, these two brothers I was talking to in the barbershop, talking about they daughters. Man, somebody mess with my daughter, this and that. My daughter, you better do this, man. You mess with somebody's daughter at one time. You probably played daughters. Played women. See, this is what I mean by stuff will come back on you. This is what I'm talking about. People do stuff and they forget what they did. They forgot what they did to other people's daughters. These women forgot what they did to other people's sons. But when the hell comes back on you or on your little one for the things that you've done, because you ain't teaching them how to be. You should have learned from your things so they don't go through what you went through. And whatever you went through, they may not have to experience. They may not have to experience what you went through. Why? Because you have taught them, okay, I was like this, I was this and that, and you're taking accountability. This is the problem today. People don't like to take accountability of their own sins or their own actions. That's the problem we have today. But as long as you can take accountability for your own action and things you've done, you may get excused or you may get a smaller sentence upon you. But David's, did I not tell y'all the stuff going on today is right here in the book, but people read all over it? Verse 9 again. Now therefore, hold him not guiltless, for thou art a wise man. That's what I mean by you know your children. That's why I tell them, brother. I said, bro, you know your daughter. No, you know your daughter. You know your children. You know which one is good. You know which one is bad. You know this and you know that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. You know your children. You know one that's going to provoke someone and one who ain't. You know your children. Don't try to act like all your children is the ray of sunshine. You know your children. So you know if your children is going to be bad, you know if they're good. You know if you spoil one of them, that's going to be bad out there because you spoiled them. You know how they is. You ignore it. Act like you don't know what's going on, but you know. This is where just weight and a just balance come in at. But because I tell you what, you spoil them, this is where they're going to get the ride because of your teaching them. See what it says in the second commandment. Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children. What you teach your children is what they're going to get. Most of the people had gotten whoopings. We call them whoopings. Beatings, whoopings, or whatever. they came up to be better children in these days and times. Why? Because you gave them what they needed to straighten themselves up. A lot of these people pamper and they give these children everything, and they come up spoiled rotten and do things way out of character. And a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. But hey, let's get back to the story. Now, therefore, hold him not guiltless, for thou art a wise man. That's what I mean. And knowest what thou oughtest to do unto him. But his horrid head bring thou down to the grave with blood. You see that? Bring him down with blood. They be telling you what I want you to get him. Because I was going to get him. Or I couldn't get him because I was at fault, but I still wanted to get him. See, David was just. David knew that dude was cursing him because of what he did. Everybody thought David took the kingdom. See, that's what I'm saying. Everybody don't need to know everybody's business. The Creator gave the kingdom to David long before David was even thought of from the people. Samuel went and anointed David. After he rent the kingdom from Saul, the kingdom, he was just doing just like this. Let me check. Ooh, thank you, Father. Just like your government. I'm gonna give you some facts right now. I'm gonna give you some because everybody ain't gonna really listen to this, but when they come across it, they may get an understanding. Just like your government is standing in front of your seat today. Saul was stripped from that seat. No different than the so-called government is standing in front of your seat today. It's up to you to get in your seat, to take your authority. So when the kingdom was stripped from Saul, Saul was still in the place as acting as king. Everybody thought he was still king, even though he was still king, because he was acting as king like your government, like your corporation is acting as a government to you today. Your so-called government is a corporation acting as a government for you. And you're looking at the corporation as your government. But you govern yourself. See the word govern? Thank you, Almighty. I didn't plan this, y'all. It came the way it came through, straight from the ether, from the Creator. I didn't plan this what I just said, but it came the way it came. Govern yourselves accordingly. What's short for government? Govern yourself accordingly. So when you govern yourself, you are the government over self. But y'all think the government, which is the corporation, governs over you. But you don't know that. Same as all the people thought Saul was still the king when the Creator stripped it from him. And then Samuel went and anointed David. After anointed David, David didn't even know, like y'all. He didn't even know. Thank your Father. Woo! See how he be bringing it to me? Thank you, Father. David didn't even know he was king. He just got anointed. He may have been anointed to be king, but when he came and he anointed him, I don't know all the words that Samuel said to David to let him know he was going to be king. He just got anointed to do something. We all are anointed to do. Everybody has a purpose to do something. He was anointed, and then he was brought to Saul. Played for Saul, got rid of and probably never knew until the Creator gave him. Whenever the Creator told him what he told him, it was in the time to come when he got heard, when he heard what the Creator told him about him being king. But David had to go through situations. This is what you're going through right now, learning this information. You have to go through these situations to get into your office, to be who you are, to sit in that throne seat. Thank you, Father. Praise you, Almighty. Boy, the Father been bringing some stuff out of me this week, y'all. And I thank you, Almighty. Boy, this is beautiful. Woo, this is beautiful. But the point is, just like Saul was stripped from the kingdom and acting as king until David rightfully got into the seat that was established to him from the Creator, same thing is waiting for you. It's waiting on you. But it's up to you to learn it, go through it, and get it. A lot of y'all like being out there in the wilderness. A lot of y'all like being servants. Hey, that's on you. But that's where we at right now. Thank you, Father, for bringing that out the way you did through me. Hallelujah. Praise you, Almighty. So now back. Yeah, that was great. But again, with that 9, therefore hold him not guiltless, for thou art a wise man. He know his son is wise, and knowest what thou oughtest to do unto him. You know what you need to do to him. But his hoary head bring thou down to the grave with blood. I want him to die. But do it righteously. If you whatever he do, you got to do it righteously, right? Now, the death of David, the death of the first king, the first king that was established. Saul was the first king, but he wasn't to be established. His name wasn't to go out throughout the earth. But he was to be known as the first king. What would we say? Matter of fact, if you look at him and look at David. Whoo, thank you, Father. Saul is the government today. In Esdras, it's not Ezra, Esdras chapter 2, verse 9, I believe it is, or it's Esdras chapter 9, verse 2. I think it's a second Esdras. I think it's second Esdras. Y'all get a chance to pull this up. I need to pull that up and print it out because I don't have the book, but I have this scripture because I actually did a post on it some time ago, but I think it got deleted on YouTube. I think I still have it in my post. Esdras chapter 2, verse 9, or second Esdras chapter 2, verse 9, or second Esdras chapter 9, verse 2, one or the other. It says, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of the world. No different than Saul was the first kingdom of unrighteousness, and everything he did, if you look at Saul, you'll look at this government the same way. You'll see the things Saul did and the way he acted and the things he did, you'll see the same government if you have to study to read it. But then when you see David, that's coming. David is us coming in our position. So Saul is actually the kingdom of Esau representative, and David is the kingdom of the Creator in representative. If you have an understanding, if you read the scriptures to see. You have to have eyes to see spiritually. Let me put it like that. Now, the death of David. The death of David, our first established king, that the Creator established, should I say. The death of David. So David slept with his fathers. So this right here is when David slept with his fathers. So David slept with his fathers and buried in the city of David. And the days of David that David reigned over Israel were 40 years. Hold on, and make sure I get this good. All right, let's get this together. And the days that David reigned over Israel was 40 years. Over Israel was 40 years. 7 years reigned he in Hebron. So actually it was 47 years. He was king in Hebron. And 33 years in 33 years in reigned he in Jerusalem. 33 years in Jerusalem. So you have to put them together. I think as separate to put them all together as it came into time, but I have to go back and really look at that and really read it and study it and see how it went. Then sat Solomon upon the throne of David his father, and his kingdom was established greatly. Here we go. What are we going to use for Solomon? I got one for Solomon. Lime green I'm going to use for Solomon. Then Solomon Then then sat Solomon upon the throne of David, his father, and his kingdom was established greatly. See, established is the key. Now, Ananiah is put to death. Here we go. Ananiah is put to death. Verse 13. And Ananiah, the son of Haggith, came to Bathsheba. Okay, check this out, y'all. That's Absalom's brother. This is Absalom's brother, the one who tried to take the kingdom, just take it and say, well, I'm king. Same thing Absalom did. Try to take the kingdom. I'm king. He just came and Joab and all of them was recognizing him. Joab didn't even recognize. He even go to David and say nothing about, oh, this and that. They just do what they want to do. But check it out. Adoniah is put to death. Verse 13. And Adoniah, the son of Haggith, came to, now don't forget, this is Absalom's brother. And Adoniah, the son of Haggith, came to Bathsheba, the mother of Solomon. You see this? The mother of Solomon. And she said, comest thou peaceably? And he said, peaceably. Because sometimes when they come to see each other, they be coming to try to kill each other off. Comest thou peaceably? And he said, peaceably. He said, moreover, I have somewhat to say unto thee. And she said, say on. And he said, thou knowest that the kingdom was mine. You see that? Still manipulating. Did I not tell you him? Same seed from David and Haggith. Both of them, same seed. Shall I say, different, but same brothers coming from the same couple. David and Haggith had this, the two sons. Same mentality. Same mentality. So he gonna come. And he said, moreover, I have some, okay, verse 15. And he said, thou knowest that the kingdom was mine, and that all Israel set their faces on me, that I should reign. How bad the kingdom is turned up. How you going to say that to this is her son you talking about. This goes to show how ignorant this boy was. Now you see when he said, why, this dude wasn't wise at all. This dude was not wise at all. He gonna come to, that's like coming to my mother and trying to tell my mother about something about me or about you, what you think. What you think something should be, because, and this is what I mean by people being their own head. These people don't think logically. These people don't think before they act, and that's going all on the internet. And you know what? These people on the internet gonna get judged by the stuff they're doing. People don't even know they're setting up their own judgment. People they're false pretensing. They're bearing false witness. They'll take something to say something. They'll take one word out of the whole content and make a whole big conglomerate out of something. They took one word out of something that was being said, and they'll make something out of what was being said. That's false bearing false witness. Because you speaking on something, this ain't even your business. We got all kind of people, and people y'all don't even realize. You know what? What I'm really realizing is this. I don't want to call the internet Satan or nothing like that. People have satanic thoughts. Their mindset is corrupt. And they're showing themselves, and they're judging their own, they're judging their own fate by their mouth and the way they think. If you don't like somebody, be judged by, it's always said, it was an old saying, if you don't have nothing good to say, don't say it. Don't say nothing at all. Because it's going to come back and bite you. I see a lot of stuff going on. They're going to get bit. This whole internet situation, these people sitting up talking stuff, some could be true. Some could be true, but the fact is you speaking out of turn. Congrats, G1. Glad you can make it, bro. But the fact is, people speak out of turn. They're speaking stuff that's not their business. Stuff that don't even belong to them. This ain't got nothing to do with you. And y'all trying to make money out of making lies and bearing false witness about stuff that don't have nothing to belong. If you ain't got nothing good to say, or if you ain't trying to make it biased, like, okay, this is the fact and this is the fact, and give facts about it, but if you're trying to make up something because of whatever you think, you got a judgment coming. See, I understand everybody trying to make money on the internet, trying to make money on YouTube and all this and that. But when you come bringing false pretenses, it's going to be a judgment on your head. You come and bringing something because of the way you feel about a person. You ain't being just. You come and talking stuff that what you believe, how you think, and whatever, but you ain't going with the whole facts of the story. You're going by little snips and clips. And you just jumping off the, oh, he said that, oh! People don't think. And that's the problem of the day. Oh, yeah, we're in the last days. And you showing your ignorance. And by you showing your ignorance, by your words, you're justified. By your words, you're condemned. Those things is going to belong to you. You said it. Nobody forced you to say it. You took what you got and you ran with it instead of being biased on the situation. Being judged instead of you're prejudging instead of judging the thing as you should see it. Don't point blame, judge it as you see it. Well, I see this, it looks like this. But no, he said this and he said that word and oh man, this is about to get. But see, people and then they're taking and flip it the way they want it to be. You getting judged by your words and your words only because you took something and made it something that is not. But hey, that's on you. Y'all gonna learn. I told y'all, people got demons in them and they don't even realize it. People got demons in them. A person come back, hey, how you doing? What's wrong with you? What you so happy about? There's something wrong with that type of person saying that. You can't be happy. You gotta be joyous of life. You got so many people that's hateful today, they don't even realize they demonic. And just reading this word, you can see anything on the demonic side is anything on the negative. Anytime you speak on I'm saying negative, there's a purpose for negative, but when I'm saying on this point, everything on the bad side, evil, negative, or whatever, is on that side. And once you think like that, that's where you are. Once you think positive, and everything on the good side, that's where you are. It's the vibration that you carry in. People don't even know about this. But hey, let's keep it moving. Say on verse 15. And he said, thou knowest that the kingdom was mine. This is Adoniah. And he said, just for anybody that's coming in, it may not know where we at. We're in 1 Kings chapter 2, verse 15. 1 Kings chapter 2, verse 15. And he said, thou knowest that the kingdom was mine, and that all Israel, this is what I'm saying, this dude is delirious. He gonna come to the son, he gonna come to the man's mother. Thou knowest the kingdom was mine, and that all Israel set their faces to me, that I should reign. Howbeit the kingdom is turned about, and is become my brother's. For it was his from Yah. So if you notice, what you come to mind, what you come to her for? You are admitting it. For it was his from Yah, from the Lord. Whether you say it's his from the Lord or you saying it's his from David. The whole point is you know this. So why are you coming here? 16. And now I ask one petition of thee. I want to say something, but I'm going to wait. And now I ask one petition of thee. Then say, deny me not. Now you're going to tell her, then don't deny me before you even. No, you got to let me know what's going on before I say yes or no. Deny me not. And she said unto him, say on. She didn't say yeah or no. She just said, tell me what you got to say. Say on. But this is him trying to say, deny me not. Trying to be slick. And she said, and he said, my bad, verse 17. And he said, speak.
I pray thee unto Solomon the king, for he would not slay thee, nay, he ain't gonna slay you. Well, if you know that's gonna happen, why don't you ask me, being his mother, to go do this? You see what I'm saying? People try to be slick, and this is how come David knew things. David just knew stuff. Even just, don't tell David this and that, but I want you to do this and that. But David himself said, I think I understand what's going on here. You don't have to say something in order for her to understand what's going on. And he said, speak, I pray thee unto Solomon, the king, for he would not say thee nay. He would not say thee nay. That he give me Abishag, the Shulamite, to wife. Now she's the young girl that they went out to find, because David was cold, and as me and Joanne shared eloquently last week, that's when your energy is depleting in your body. He's old, and he's beginning to get ready to pass on. His energy was depleting, and he was cold. He couldn't get no heat. So they try to find him a good, fine little young damsel, look finest girl in the kingdom probably. And she thought he's gonna make his thing. They thought his thing gonna stand up. Oh yeah, she fine. Come on, woman. Come on, you my other wife. Come on, let me see if I can get me another one out of you. But he never knew her. He never had relations with her. Sexual relations, that is. So by him not doing that, she was with him, but she wasn't with him. She mainly was his caretaker. That's all she was to him. She was just his caretaker. She wasn't a wife to him. She took care of him as a wife would, but she couldn't be a wife because he never went into her to be a wife. This is why people have to understand what makes a marriage between a man and a woman. People have no understanding. They're going by what this government tells them. Everybody think, oh, you got to go down to the justice of the peace to get married. That ain't marriage. That's a contract. Two contracts come together to make a union for this system to carry and to dominate. When a man and woman come together, that's marriage. When they come together and when they know each other and start building together, that's a marriage, just like the Creator did with Adam and Eve. But what did the man do? What did the Creator, after the Creator gave her to Adam, what happened, shall I say? What was said that happened? This is when a man should leave his mother and father and cleave unto his wife. Most men do that. Most men, I ain't saying all men, most men, when they get a woman, they cleave unto that woman. And I don't care if he got 3 or 4, he still cleave unto the ones that he got. That's why you got a man over here with several children, a man over there, the same man got 7 children over here. He's doing the same. If he got 7 children over there, he's with her. If he got 7 children over here, he's with her. He's cleaving unto his wife or wives. But what the woman to do? She'll leave quick. Leave him, the children, and everybody else. Or leave him and take the children and use this government for her backing. People have no understanding of what this word is really giving them and giving the understanding. You just have to see through it spiritually, like I gave you this government and Saul and David for the kingdom that's coming. But people haven't understood. They're too busy thinking, oh, it's going to be David going to come up. They can't even see. People can't see. They blinded to the fact. But let's keep it moving. That he may give Abishag the Shulamite to wife. And Bathsheba said, well, I will speak for thee unto the king. See, she said, okay, I'll speak for you to him. All she could do is do what he asked her to do. But the fact is that when he said that he would not say nay, that he, where it said about the killing, and she said, speak on, I pray thee, to the king, for he would not say nay, it's up here somewhere, I just seen was he would not slay thee. And he said, now, as one petition of thee, deny me not. And she said unto him, yea, say on. And he said, speak, I pray thee, unto Solomon the king, for he would not, there you go, for he would not for he would not say thee nay. It didn't say slay. My bad. I put an L. I thought it said slay, but he would not say thee nay. There we go. Glad I went back over there to see that. I thought it said slay, but it says say. He ain't gonna say no to you. And she said, and Bathsheba said, well, I will speak for thee unto the king. Bathsheba therefore went unto Solomon to speak unto the king. Hold on. Now let me do this like this. Let's get back over here. Adonai is going to be in pink because he's been deceitful. Oh, I got to do this. I'm going to look this up. And Adonai, the son of Haggah, the Bishmite, the son of Solomon, said, and she said, comest thou peaceably? And he said, peaceably. He said, moreover, I have somewhat to say unto thee. And she said, say on. And he said, thou knowest that the kingdom was mine, and that all Israel set their faces on me, that I should reign. Howbeit the kingdom was turned out, come my brothers, for it was from Yah. And now I ask one petition of thee, deny me not. And she said, say on. And he said, speak, I pray thee, unto Solomon the king, for he will not say thee nay. He will not say thee nay. I mean, he ain't gonna say no to you. That he give the Abishai the Shulamite to wife. I'll be like, why don't you go ask him? Why don't you ask him? My first thing I've been like, well, why don't you ask? I mean, yeah, you're asking me, but why don't you ask him? Oh, well, I don't think he's gonna. Why don't you ask him? What you think he'll say about it? If I go ask him? What you think gonna happen? She could have warned him then. That could have been his warning. I don't know. He probably knew already anyway, but that was his warning before he did it. So he already knew that's why he came to her. Hey. And Bathsheba said, well, I will speak to the king. Bathsheba therefore went unto King Solomon. Here we go. Bathsheba therefore went unto King Solomon to speak unto him for Adoniah. And the king rose up to meet her and bowed himself to her and sat down on his throne and caused a seat to be set for the king's mother. And she sat on his right hand. And she sat on the king's right hand. Then she said, I desire one small petition of thee. Watch this. I pray thee, say me not nay. And the king said unto her, ask on, my mother, for I will not say thee nay. You see what I'm saying? He ain't say nay to her. He didn't say nay to her. What I just said about David and the other that he just talked about. He ain't say nay to her. And she said, let Abishai the Shulamite be given unto Adoniah thy brother to wife. That right there did it. Now let me ask you a question. I'm asking y'all to think, because I like to think and talk as I go on. I want to read it then come back, unless we already in the verse. The fact that she came to him and said that for him, because she know that she his mother. Why would I give the woman, the one that was actually your father's caretaker, and she fine? Why would I take her, and tell my son and say, well, maybe you can get with her because that'll be a wife for you? Why would I take her and give him to my stepson? And you the king. Why would I do that? Why would, and he would be like, why would my mother tell me something like that? Why my mother tell me to give this fine woman who could be my wife to give her to my brother, give him to my brother? I went through something like that, but not according to a woman. To my business. I'm going to share this with you real quick. In 2009, November 2009, I started a sovereign class in Atlanta. I started it. I had the facility, but the person that was teaching it, because I didn't know the information, and I had been looking for somebody for the longest, and a friend of mine introduced me to this other brother that knew the information. I'm not going to give no names. That knew the information, and I said, you know, he came to the place where I was at. Because I was at, I will tell you this, I was at Four Corners of the Earth Marketplace in Little 5 Points. I had my own little space there. I was selling alkaline water, teas, and other essentials in there, and knowledgeable DVDs, historical DVDs, not no movies and stuff like that. History and knowledgeable DVDs and a lot of other stuff. The brother that I knew brought the brother, and he came and he looked at the back. He said, "Man, this is gonna be kind of small." I said, "Bro, I got a spot. I got a spot." Me and my brother Hectic, the backpacker. He called himself Hectic Backpacker. Very good vocalist. When I say vocalist, the boy can rap. Mine says he's good. And he helped me with something. Matter of fact, he remixed a couple of my songs. He remixed a few of my songs as well. But other than that, we had a spot. Me and him had already had plans on making some things going on there. So I took them there. And we caught like this around this time of year. We started calling that place the Icebox because it got cold. From November, we started with 7 people. To June of 2010, we had over 200 people coming to the class. If not all at once, we had 200 signatures of people coming to the class, right? Then, in between June, I think it was around April. March, April, between April and May, around sometime mid-April, beginning of May, around that time, end of April, beginning of May, the brother played me. He played me, but he slicked me. See, it was the class I got together. Me and my boy Zen, we out there hustling, letting people know, putting flyers out, telling everybody we got the sovereign class. We're teaching people how to stand up in court. We're doing this and we're doing that. That brother wasn't doing nothing. He was working at the hospital, the one that was teaching. He was working. All he did was he would come an hour and a half later because he would get off work and then come to teach the class. But I would have a speaker like my boy, y'all should know him, KT, the Arts Degree. KT, the Arts Degree, my brother. Y'all know him on here. He used to have a big throat and then he cut it off. Look like a real young man now. Y'all know who he is. And he'll tell you the same thing. I had him speaking at certain times on knowledgeable information when it comes to herbs and what have you. I had a few other people come in and speak. And when they would come and speak, when he would get there, they'll wrap it up, they get off, and he'll finish up with the sovereign class for the next hour or two or hour and a half or next 2 hours. But he came to me and said, well, you know, the equinox coming up and this and that. And my spirit, and he made me say, well, we're going to take it. I'm going to take it over and this and that. And I was like, I was actually wrestling with my spirit. I said, well, all I can see is that he seemed like a nice guy and this and that. I said, okay. But I don't know. It was a learning experience for me. It was a learning experience for me. Something I had to go through to not to go through again. I gave this brother something that I put together, even though he was teaching it, he had already set up. He got women to the side. He had about 7-8 men to do. He was setting stuff up, and I didn't know nothing about it. I didn't know it. I didn't understand it. It was something I had to go through. We all go through things to get learning and learning. That's the reason why a lot of people have to learn. When we go through things, it's all for your learning. Some people get mad behind it, get all kinds of. Everything is for you. Once you sit back and meditate on the things that you've been through or going through, it's all for. I told a brother that yesterday. He said, man, things ain't going all right. I said, brother, don't even worry about it. You doing a good job with what you're doing. It's for your learning. Whatever you're going through right now. And he looked at me and said, I accept that. I understand what you're saying. I said, whatever you're going through right now, it's just for you to learn. so you can get better at it, so you don't go through it again. Good brother. Good brother. Owns a shop. I'm just say he owns one of the barber shops. I'm just gonna say that. I'm not gonna give no names and nothing like that. But I just said he was going through. I could tell something was going on with him because he was quiet. He wasn't cheery but something was going on in his mind. I said, whatever it is, brother, you ain't got to worry about it. Whatever it is you're learning, this is a learning situation for you. I didn't know what it was, but my spirit speaks to me through me to people to let people understand whatever they're going through. It's just a learning experience. And now, where we at? Verse 21. Again, and she said, let Abishai the Shulamite be given to Adoniah thy brother to wife. And King Solomon answered and said unto his mother. Now watch this. And why doest thou ask Abishai the Shulamite for Adoniah? See, and why would you ask that? See, your whole thing, you're gonna perceive, wait a minute, how you gonna sit up and ask me to give her to him? He asked her why. Cause and effect, and you always find out by asking why. You got to get down to the understanding before you make the next move. Said, and the King Solomon answered, and why do thou ask Abishai the Shulamite for Adoniah? Ask for him the kingdom also. You see that? Ask for him the kingdom also. So now you're going to ask me to give him the kingdom also? You see that? You see that? You going to ask for him the kingdom also? For he is mine elder brother. For he's my older brother. Even for him and for Abiathar the priest and for Joab the son of Zeruiah. See, all those was the ones who didn't even want him. They didn't even ask them to come to his kingdom or his kingdom feast and the stuff that they was having. They didn't ask all these ones he's talking about. They didn't even ask Solomon, Bathsheba, or none of them to come. So why are you going to ask me for him knowing that he didn't even ask you to come? Wisdom. And all those ones down here that they was at the feast of Adoniah. They was at his feast. Then it says, then King Solomon swear by Yah, saying, Yah do to me and more also, if Adoniah have not spoken this word again against his, see there? Against his own life. That's why he went to his mother. He should have left well enough alone. You spoke this against your own life, bruh. I told you to go home and be good. I let it alone. You spoke this against your own life. Now therefore, as Yah liveth, which hath established me, and set me on the throne of David my father, and who have made me a house, as he promised, Adonai shall be put to death this day. Bam. See that? See, now you understand? Let me give you an understanding of this situation real quick. Understand this quick situation. The fact that she came to Solomon and he wouldn't deny her, he have to put him to death now. You done spoke against, you want me to give you something that you think you think I'm gonna tell my mother no? That's why he told his mother to go ask her for. That's why he said, oh, so you're gonna ask for the kingdom for him as well as these other brothers that he didn't invite us to? Well, just to get that out the way, he gotta go. He spoke this against his own life. She didn't have to tell me he said it. I know he told her that because my mother ain't gonna come and tell me something that my other brother, whether you've been the elder brother or not, no matter all this other stuff, this is my mother. She's gonna take out of my hand the woman that could be my wife, this fine woman like this. Y'all catch on. Y'all understand. Ain't nobody stupid and ain't nobody dumb, right? What'd he say? Now, therefore, as Yah liveth, which has established me and set me on the throne of David my father, and who has made me a house, he had, as he is promised, Adonai shall be put to death this day. That means you gone. And King Solomon sent by the hand of Benaniah, the son of Jehoiada, and he fell upon him, and he died. He went and killed him. You're dead now. Bam. Now, Abiathar, the pride of the priesthood. Abiathar. Let me see. Abiathar was one of the ones that was with him as well. Here we go. Verse 26. And unto Abiathar the priest said the king, get thee to Anathoth. Get thee to Anathoth unto thine own fields. Go to Anathoth to thy own field. For thou art worthy of death. You see that? For thou art worthy of death. But I will not at this time put thee to death, because thou bearest the ark of Yah before David, my father, and because thou hast been afflicted in all wherein my father was afflicted. So all the stuff that my father was going through, you was there. Father was afflicted. So Solomon thrust out Abiathar from being priest unto Yah, that he might fulfill the word of Yah, which he spake concerning the house of Eli, in Shiloh. And what was that? Do y'all know what that was? Let me get it for you. See, everybody, when you understand the Creator's word, you got to understand when the Creator speaks. Hold on. Let me get it for you. I think it was in part 2. I think it's Samuel 2. I think this is it right here, the key. I'm going to read this from 27. The curse of Eli, verse 27 through 36. 27, the curse of Eli. Check this out. And there came a man. This is 1 Samuel, I'm sorry I didn't tell you. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 27. I did say curse of Eli. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 27 through 36. I'm going to read that for you real quick. That's why you know, here a little, there a little. Precept upon precept, as they say in Isaiah chapter 28. And there, verse 27. 1 Samuel 2, verse 27. And there came a man of Yah unto Eli, and said unto him, Thus saith Yah, did I plainly appear unto the house of thy father when they were in Egypt in Pharaoh's house? And did I choose him out of all the tribes of Israel, which is Levi, to be my priest, to offer upon my altar, to burn incense, to wear an ephod before me? And did I give unto the house of thy father all the offerings made by fire unto the children of Israel? Verse 29. Wherefore kick ye at my sacrifices? You see this? Now this is, if y'all go into the to chapter 2, you'll understand. You'll actually start at verse 22. 22 would be the starting of it. But we right here now. Verse 29. Wherefore kick ye at my sacrifice and at mine offering, which I have commanded in my habitation, and honorest thy sons above me, to make yourselves fat with the chiefest of all the offerings of Israel, my people? Wherefore Yah of Israel saith, I said indeed that thy house and the house of thy father shall walk before me forever. But this is what the Creator is saying. But now Yah saith, be it far from me. Because he's talking about all of them at the time. When anybody who's a Levite, this is who you're talking about, because they are of the tribe of Levi. It still stands, but now he's making a difference in what he's saying. So that's the difference. People think the Creator changed. The Creator don't change. The Creator makes a difference in what he says, because he don't change. He give you the same thing, but he's giving you a different concept in what he's saying. And this is what people don't get. So it says, should walk before me forever. But now Yah saith, be it far from me. For them that honor me will I honor. You see that? Eli's sons didn't honor the Creator. Eli didn't honor the Creator, and that's when you go into this, that's when we're down to 27. But if you read verse 22 through 26, you'll understand why the Creator is saying this through the young prophet. Because they're not, you think I'm gonna put it like this, and there go your conditional, your unconditional love, or unconditional whatever however they say it. God is unconditional. The Creator is conditional. That's man saying, man, God, not God, but he said, man, what about unconditional love? The Creator is conditioned. That's why he said, be it far from me. You think even most parents, some parents are stupid. Most parents ain't going to take everything that their children is doing. Most husbands is not going to take the BS that their wives are doing. And some on other way around. Wives ain't going to, most wives will take it for so much. It all depends on how good the wife is. But she'll end up leaving because they drive them away. Same with man, same with woman. There's no bias there because it happens for both. But let's keep it moving. For them that honor me, I will honor. It's not all of them no more. It's for you that honor me, because Eli's sons wasn't honoring the Creator. They was taking flesh raw, knowing that they supposed to wait till it get done, and they was getting the best of it, but they was taking it raw. No one ain't supposed to eat raw flesh if that's what they were doing, but they was taking it raw. Not only that, they were laying with the women as well. I don't know if they laying in between or whatever. The whole point, they was laying with the women knowing they're not supposed to do it. You don't get special. This is where the Creator don't have respect to people. His law stands, but everybody don't get that same. Like right now, we got Hebrew Israelites. I'm saying Hebrew Israelite people who waking up. They think that because they're Israel, oh, I'm special. They think that they can walk against the law. They wake up to understand they're Israel, but still doing stuff of the world. And I understand a lot of them still learning. Because I used to be there, and I shared that as well. I used to be there. I'm not ignorant anymore. I know the Creator's word. I understand that the Creator don't change. That's why he told Solomon, and that's why he told David, and he told Saul, if you keep my word, I will do these things. But if you don't, everything is still the same. All that was said in Deuteronomy 28. And I try to get everybody to understand. People talk about Deuteronomy 28, but they don't study Deuteronomy 28. The first verse through the 14th verse tell you about all these blessings is going to come upon you if you keep the law. Then he says all these curses, in both of them, it's still his law, going to come upon you if you don't keep the law. But God ain't evil. God won't do that. You don't know what, because you don't know the Creator. That's the problem with people today. They think they know the Creator and they don't. Saying right here again. For them that honor me, I will honor, and they that despise me shall be lightly esteemed. What it says on over here. Behold, the days come that I will cut off thine arm and the arm of thy father's house. Here we go. Here we go. Listen, this is the curse. This is the curse. And this is the reason why this is spoken of over here in 1 Kings chapter 2. That there shall not be an old man in thine house. See there? There shall not be an old man in thy house, and thou shalt see an enemy in my habitation, and thou shalt see an enemy in my habitation, in all the wealth which Yah has given Israel. You see that? We got that same thing to give the preachers today, so-called preachers today. Your Creflo Dollars and your TD Jakes and all these other and then we got one that Eddie Long was one of them by the things that he did. Sickness is a curse, whether y'all understand that or not. And there shall not be an old man in thine house forever. You see that? There shall not be an old man in Eli's house forever. There were many other priests, remember? But at this time, that's Eli's house. Samuel was a different person, wasn't he? Samuel was a different priest that came up. Then he said, and the man of thine whom I shall cut off from mine altar shall be to consume thine eyes, and to grieve thine heart. And all the increase of thine house shall die in the flower of their age. He's talking about Eli's heritage. Eli's heritage. Not all Levi, but in Eli's heritage. And this shall be a sign unto thee, that shall come upon thy two sons, Hophni and Phinehas. My baby had to strip me out. I think it's Phinehas. I was saying Phinehas, but Phinehas. In one day they shall die, both of them. So that was the 20, 30, 36. In one day both of them gonna die. Oh, let me keep it going down then. 35, both of them. And I will raise me up a faithful priest, that was Samuel, that shall do according to that which is in mine heart and in my mind. And I will build him a sure house, and he shall walk before mine anointed forever. He shall be before mine anointed forever. And he shall walk before mine anointed forever. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left in thine house shall come and crouch to him for a piece of silver and a morsel of bread, and shall say, put me, I pray thee, into one of the priest's offices, that I may eat a piece of bread. See what I'm saying? That means it's going to be so bad that only the priest is going to be. Look at the priest today. Look at your T.D. Jakes. See what I'm saying? Now look at the people that go to fund T.D. Jakes and the rest of them, all these household of quote unquote supposedly houses of prayers. Look at them. The preachers is the one who's living lavishly, right? If you look at it, it's the other way around, because the priest is actually the lowest one, because they only got 10% of what the people was giving. The people was rich. If y'all understand, the people was rich, and they would give 10% to the priest. So that means that everybody had things in abundance. This is how come people can't see. People can't see, they don't understand. Let's keep it moving. As we said, this is going to be, I got to put this in deep green here. So Solomon thrust out Abiathar from being priest unto Yah, that he might fulfill the word of Yah, which he spake concerning. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me just put that in. Over here. That he might fulfill the word of Yah, which spake concerning the house of, and let me do that again. Let me write this down. I like to put my keys where they need to be. 1 Samuel, chapter 2, verse, chapter 2, verse what? I know it's 36. 20, was it 27 to 36? 1 Samuel 27 to 36. 2, 7 through 30. This is how you keep up with information. So if you need to go back, you got it. This is called studying. People don't study today. People go by what the preachers say. Now, what we're gonna do is we don't go through Joab's death. Joab's death. We're gonna matter of fact, I should. No, let me see how much I. Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end it right here, because we already an hour and 30 something, almost an hour and 40 minutes in. So what I'm doing, I'm ending it because I'm gonna start off with Joab is put to death. Joab is put to death. We're gonna start off with that in part 2, because right now we're an hour and 30 something. We're an hour and 30 something minutes in, almost an hour and 40. So what I'm gonna do is, let me take this, put this where I need to, which is at the end of 3. So we're going through both of these today. Next week, we're going to start at 4. So other than that, I just like to say that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm the same Mikael in Revelations 12. battling that red dragon where Satan dwell, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. So right now, this is the end of part 1 of Solomon's wisdom and is it practice? Solomon's wisdom and prosperity. That's what it is. Solomon's wisdom and prosperity. This is part 1 of that. We're ending part 1 right now. And let's see. First, before we do that, over here on Instagram, let's see who just stopped by for a moment. Never Touch Zero join. Glad you came through. Never Touch Zero. Naja the Priest joined for a minute. I'm trying to see Rushaguru. I can't. Rueshagru came through for a moment. Christ is like Christ Jr. joined for a quick moment. Over here on YouTube Live, we have Ali Hurley. He says hi. He said yay. And gave a smiley face. And over here on, let's see what we have over here on Facebook. Like somebody is there, but I don't see a name or anything. Whoever you are, I thank you for coming through. I don't see a name or anything up, so I don't know who you may be. But other than that, I also like to thank my baby Joanne for being in on Instagram. Cass for being in. Also, look at that, Julia coming in. Julia just coming in. Oh, she was? Well, she must have came back. I thought she was in earlier. Okay, and also my boy G1 is in. Now, if it wasn't so late, what I'm gonna do is I would like to ask y'all what y'all got out of the information. I would like to ask y'all what y'all got out of the information, but it's gonna take a little longer than expected. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna probably go through part 2, and then after part 2, at the end of that, we're gonna ask what y'all got out of chapter 1 and chapter 2 and chapter 3. So because you kind of laid up in here, but I'm gonna pause Zoom now because this is the longest point, and then we're gonna go from here. And from here, I just like to say, I'd like to thank everybody for coming. And if you will, if you'd like to get back in contact with us, this is the end of part 1. So just want to share with you, if you're interested in connecting with us on our introduction to Sovereign Class of Knowledge, some of the information I was kind of given throughout this information as we were sharing about the government and the corporations and other information. We have Introduction to Sovereign Class of Knowledge on Tuesdays at 7:30 a.m. for those who work late. And then we have it at 9 p.m. the night after Tuesday for people who work early. So we have it like that, and this is Zoom only. And the only way you can get in on that Zoom, if you text me your name, number, and email, and say, I'd like to know more about the Sovereign Class. And once you text me that at 770-572-5315, that's 770-572-5315. My information is going to come up in your email, my invite to my Google Calendar. And when I give you my invite, once you accept the invite, you will come up in my Google Calendar and you will have all the dates of everything that we do. So again, that number, you can text me your name, number, and email, and also say you'd like to know more about the Sovereign Class or about the alkaline water and teas. Or you can always call me again at 770-572-5315. And you can also email me at lkhyym@gmail.com. That's lkhyym@gmail.com. Also, just to share with you, if you like to get on my public platforms, my public platforms are, the first one is you can get on YouTube and X, formerly known as Twitter. That's YouTube and X, formerly known as Twitter, at JuicePro 33. That's JUICEPRO33, all one word. Again, that's JUICEPRO33, all one word. Please like, subscribe, and share, and connect, and check out the videos on YouTube and check them out. You can also catch us on Facebook. My Facebook is Mikael Harris, which is spelled MI''CHAEL space HARRIS. That's MI''CHAEL space HARRIS. That's my Facebook page. You can also catch me on Instagram and one of my TikToks. That's Instagram and one of my TikToks on or at L'chaim_the juice, which is spelled LKHYYM_THEJUICE. Again, that's LKHYYM_THE, excuse me, THEJUICE. Now, my other TikTok and YouTube, my other TikTok and my YouTube, you can like, subscribe, and share, is Michael the Juice Harris, which is spelled MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. Again, that's MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS, all together on my other, excuse me, my other TikTok and my other YouTube, which you can like, subscribe, and share. Put those in the search engine. Last but not least, I'd like to say you can connect with us for the full interview information on Rumble and Patreon.com/LKHYYM. That's Rumble and Patreon.com/LKHYYM. Now, for my Zoom platforms, we're here, Zoom and public, except for on Tuesdays. We're here on the night after Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is called Fight Fire with Truth, which is actually open conversation. We have open conversation and talk about some of the stuff that we like to talk about with here and anything else. That's on Sunday, the night after Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern on Zoom. We're also, and this is the public platforms as well, we're on that night after Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. 9 p.m. Eastern. And that one is called Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. That's Mikael's Knowledge of Truth on, quote unquote, the night after Monday, right? Now, as I was sharing with you at the beginning of this conversation, Tuesdays at sunrise at 7:30 a.m. and at 9 p.m. that night after Tuesday, we have Introduction to Sovereign Class of Knowledge. That's Introduction to Sovereign Class of Knowledge. That's on Tuesday, rising of the sun at 7:30 a.m. Then that night after the sun go down at 9 p.m. Then again, we're right here today at 12 p.m. noon. At the rising of the sun is the morning. The peak of the day is the end of the morning, and the beginning of the evening, which is the other half of the day, which is the peak of the day at 12 p.m. noon, is the beginning of the evening. That's the beginning of the evening. After the sun goes down, when the sun goes down, is the end of the evening. Then you have night. Just wanted to share that. And we're here at 12 p.m. noon on the Sabbath, which is Saturday, as they call it, Eastern time, all of them Eastern time. Other than that, I'd like to thank y'all for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye for wisdom, for Solomon's wisdom and prosperity. Solomon's wisdom and prosperity, part 1. This is the end of part 1. We'll be back with part 2 in a few moments. Other than that, I thank y'all for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Gonna say bye first to Instagram. Appreciate, love you. See you soon, and always. Peace. right? And for Facebook. Hope you be right back. We'll be right back with part 2. I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Appreciate, love you. See you soon. And always, peace. Hope you see you on part 2. And over here on YouTube Live. We'll be right back with part 2. I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Appreciate, love you. See you soon. And always, peace. It's good to see all y'all today.